Welcome back to the deep dive. Well, here we are, the end of our first season together.
It's been quite a journey, hasn't it? Exploring habits, the mind, emotions, connection.
Absolutely. And today, we're kind of distilling all of that. We've dug through the research, the books, the big ideas, and we wanted to pull out what really matters, the essentials.
Yeah, think of it as a toolkit. We're calling it your core five. Five fundamental truths that just kept popping up again and again as crucial for a recovered life, or honestly, just a more informed, fulfilling one.
And these aren't just theories, right? They're meant to be practical, like navigation points on your own map.
Exactly. Actionable principles. And for everyone listening, the mission today is pretty simple, but hopefully really useful.
As we go through these 5 truths, just let them sink in. See which one really clicks for you right now. Maybe it connects to something you're grappling with or just feels relevant.
And then the challenge is to find one small way, just one tiny thing you can do this week to sort of honor that truth, put it into practice.
Because those small steps, they add up. We know that now.
They really do. Okay, should we dive into the first one? It really sets the stage for everything else.
Let's do it. Truth 1. Self-awareness is your foundation. This takes us right back to our mental blueprint deep dive and that Jung quote, wow.
Oh yeah, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. It gives you chills, doesn't it?
It really does, because it speaks to how much of our lives, our habits, are run on autopilot, stuff we just do without thinking.
Precisely. Once a habit is ingrained, it becomes non-conscious,
Yeah.
automatic. And trying to change something you're not even aware of, it's like trying to steer a ship in thick fog. You feel the currents pushing you, but you can't see them.
You're just reacting. You think it's fate, like Jung said.
Exactly. Atomic Habits really hammered this home. You have to become aware of the cues, the routines, before you can even begin to change them. Awareness first.
And Jung's idea of the psyche, it wasn't this neat, tidy thing, was it? He called it a boiling cauldron.
Yeah, a boiling cauldron of contradictory impulses, inhibitions, and effects. He said the idea of a unified consciousness is something we want, a desideratum, but it's not the reality.
So what does that mean, practically? Like for everyday life?
It means parts of us can be operating outside our conscious control. You know those moments where you think, why did I do that? Or where did that come from?
Oh yeah, all the time.
It's often these unconscious parts or impulses taking the wheel, leading to that internal conflict. You mentioned your own sort of talking part versus the criticizing part.
Right. They both feel like me, but they're often at odds. Sometimes one feels totally alien.
Understanding that multiplicity, that internal landscape, is the first step, and this connects directly to identity.
Ah, yes. Atomic Habits, again, true behavior change is identity change. That was huge for me.
It's fundamental. It's not just about doing something like reading a book. It's about becoming a reader.
Because when you are a reader, the reading just happens. It aligns with who you are.
Exactly. Every action, even tiny ones, is like a vote for the type of person you wish to become. Each choice reinforces that identity. So progress isn't just hitting goals. It's editing your beliefs, expanding who you see yourself as.
But you need to look inside to even know who that person is or wants to be. Which brings us to interoception. That was from The Body Keeps the Score, right?
Yeah.
Looking inside, sensing your body.
Yes, precisely. It's our ability to feel our internal state. And get this, the book explains that the medial prefrontal cortex, the hub of self-awareness, is basically the only conscious pathway to our emotional brain.
Wow. So feeling our feelings isn't just emotional fluff. It's neurologically essential for self-awareness.
It is. It allows us to feel what we're feeling. And that sensing, naming, and identifying what is going on inside is flagged as the absolute first step in recovery. You have to know what's happening internally.
And for people with trauma, that connection can be severed. They shut down those sensations.
Often, yes, as a protective measure. They numb themselves to overwhelming feelings, effectively hiding from themselves, as the book puts it. It's a survival tactic, but it creates a huge barrier to healing.
And stops them from feeling fully alive, too. It's a terrible trade-off.
It is. So conscious self-awareness is the bridge back, reconnecting with the full range of internal experience, the good and the bad.
And that involves acknowledging those internal parts we mentioned earlier, the shame part, the rage part.
Yes. The Body Keeps the Score talks about these parts holding different memories, beliefs, sensations. They all serve a function, even if it seems maladaptive. Now they protect the core self from feeling completely overwhelmed, from the full terror of annihilation.
It's like an internal committee, each member trying to protect you in their own, sometimes clumsy way.
A great analogy. And acknowledging them, even the difficult ones like a fixed mindset, that's crucial. Remember mindset suggesting we should embrace your fixed mindset.
That sounded so weird at first. Like, why embrace the thing you want to change?
But it's about honesty, recognizing we all have some of it. We're all a mixture. Maybe you have a growth mindset about work, but a fixed one about, I don't know, dancing.
Right.
Acknowledging that mixture without judgment is the key. You can't shift what you pretend isn't there. It's self-awareness leading to acceptance, which frees you up to actually change.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. And understanding that we can change, that we're not stuck, that leads perfectly into the next truth, doesn't it?
It really does. Truth, too. Your brain can and will heal. This one is just, it's packed with hope. Based on our Hardwired for Healing deep dive.
The whole idea of neuroplasticity, that phrase, neurons that fire together, wire together, Hebb's law. What does that really mean for us?
It means practice makes permanent, essentially. Think of carving a path in a forest. The more you walk it, the clearer and easier it gets.
Okay.
Your brain is similar. Repeating a thought, a behavior, an emotion, it physically strengthens the neural connections for that pattern. It's called long-term potentiation. Your brain literally rewires itself to be more efficient at what you repeatedly do.
So bad habits get deeply wired.
But so can good ones, and so can new ways of thinking or feeling. That's the hope. Even deeply ingrained patterns, like from trauma, can be modified. Your brain isn't fixed concrete. It's more like dynamic clay.
Wow. And we saw real examples of this, like the neurofeedback in the body keeps the score. That person said, it calmed me down, stopped the dissociation. They could use their feelings instead of being controlled by them.
Exactly. That wasn't just subjective feeling. Neurofeedback can demonstrably shift brainwave patterns. It shows the brain healing and regulating itself in a measurable way. It's quite amazing.
It really is. And this ties into the growth mindset again, doesn't it? Believing change is possible.
Absolutely. Mindset defines the growth mindset as believing abilities aren't fixed, but can be developed. Through effort, through practice, through learning. It's the opposite of the fixed mindset, I am how I am.
The growth mindset is more like, I can become.
Precisely. And the book calls this mindset a hallmark of people who thrive during challenging times. They see setbacks as opportunities to learn, not as proof they're not good enough.
That brainology program example was so powerful, too. Teaching kids their neurons could literally grow with effort.
Yeah, like exercising a muscle. It changed everything for those kids and the teachers. They realized all students can learn, but also that learning takes a great deal of time and practice. It grounded the growth mindset in actual brain science, made it real.
And it's not just about formal learning. Pushing ourselves in any challenging activity helps, right?
Yeah.
Maps of Meaning talked about that.
Yes, engaging in difficult activities expands or sharpens consciousness. It builds our adaptive competence, creative exploration, tackling new problems. It forces the brain to build new pathways, to grow. Novelty and challenge are brain food.
And sometimes new experiences can almost rewrite the past, like those virtual memories from psychomotor therapy and The Body Keeps the Score.
That was fascinating, creating new sensory experiences of feeling seen, cradled, and supported. These don't erase the past trauma, but they can live side by side with it, acting as antidotes, reweaving the narrative. It's like adding corrective emotional experiences.
Providing a counterbalance.
Exactly. And it's not just mental. Physical practices matter hugely. The book showed how yoga significantly helped PTSD patients with arousal issues and their whole relationship with their bodies.
Helping them feel safe in their bodies again.
Yes, to comfortably inhabit their tortured bodies. It shows healing is embodied. Mind, brain, body, they're all interconnected in this healing process.
Which inevitably involves some discomfort.
Which leads us right to truth 3. Discomfort is the price of growth. We touched on this in why recovery feels weird, and let's face it, change is hard.
It really is. No point sugarcoating it.
Yeah.
Atomic Habits gave us that great term, the valley of disappointment.
Oh, I know that valley well. Where you're putting in the effort, trying to build a new habit or make a change, and nothing seems to be happening. It feels pointless. Exactly. Progress is rarely linear. And the book stresses that the most powerful outcomes are delayed. You have to persist through that plateau, what the author calls the plateau of latent potential.
Latent potential. I like that. It's building up, even if you can't see it yet.
Right. If you quit in the valley, you never reach the peak where the results really compound. You have to trust the process, push through the discomfort of not seeing immediate results.
And maybe find some enjoyment in the struggle itself. That's where flow comes in, from good business leadership.
Yes. That optimal state where you're fully immersed, challenged, but capable, time disappears.
Totally absorbed.
And paradoxically, the book points out that people often report struggling to overcome challenges as the most enjoyable times. By stretching skills, by reaching toward higher challenges, such a person becomes an increasingly extraordinary individual.
So the sweet spot isn't ease, it's manageable challenge. The Goldilocks rule from Atomic Habits.
Spot on. Challenges that are just manageable difficulty. Right on the edge of your current abilities. Not too easy, boredom. Not too hard, overwhelm. But just right to keep you engaged and growing.
Which makes that work-leisure paradox even stranger. The data in good business leadership showing people feel happier and more in flow at work.
Yeah, 54% flow states at work versus only 18% in leisure.
Yet we still mostly wish we worked less.
It suggests we disregard the quality of immediate experience. Maybe cultural scripts about work being a drag override how we actually feel moment to moment. It's a fascinating disconnect.
It really is. And maybe that desire for ease, for comfort, keeps us stuck in what the denial of death called the comfortable prison.
Oof, yeah. Our defenses, built to protect our self-esteem from life's scariness, mortality, meaninglessness, they can become traps. We get comfortable in limited and protected routines and avoid the uncertainty of real growth.
Kierkegaard's prison heroism.
Oh.
Smugness of just following the cultural script, never questioning, never venturing out.
It's the allure of the known, even if it's stifling. Jung said growth requires disloyalty to tradition, questioning those scripts. And he warned that progress enforced by will is always convulsive.
Convulsive, meaning bumpy, uncomfortable, disruptive.
All of the above. It's not smooth. It's wrestling with old patterns, internally and sometimes externally. It takes effort and involves friction.
But embracing that friction, that challenge, is how we find our potential. Avoid the extremes of rigid rules or total chaos.
Exactly. Maps of meaning and denial of death both suggest it's through navigating that tension, accepting the discomfort, that we discover the potential grandeur of the soul. It requires courage.
And a growth mindset to navigate the failures and setbacks along the way.
Absolutely. Mindset emphasizes learning from mistakes, persevering through those rough spots. The discomfort becomes a signal you're learning, not a signal to retreat.
Okay, so if discomfort is the price, what guides us through it? Which brings us to truth 4. Values are your compass. This was central to cognitive resonance.
Yes, and it shifts the focus from just goals. Atomic Habits had that killer line. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems.
Right. Goals are the target, but systems are the process. Like, wanting to write a book is the goal, but writing 500 words a day is the system.
Exactly. And the best systems are aligned not just with outcomes, but with identity. Who do you want to be? Build systems that reinforce that identity. It connects back to truth 1.
Become the kind of person who does that thing naturally.
Precisely. Which links beautifully to intrinsic motivation, explored in drive, doing things because they're inherently interesting, challenging, and absorbing.
Like those monkeys solving puzzles just for the fun of it.
Yeah.
Rewards actually messed it up.
Yeah, Harlow's experiments, it showed the performance of the task, provided intrinsic reward. We're wired to enjoy challenge and mastery for its own sake, not just for the external prize.
And the book talked about the purpose motive, too. Having goals linked to something bigger than yourself.
Hugely important. People with purpose goals, helping others, learning, growing, report much higher well-being, less anxiety, less depression than those focused only on extrinsic stuff like money or fame.
So having a why matters a lot.
It does. Good business leadership described a unifying purpose as being like a magnetic field for your energy. It organizes your efforts, defines meaningful challenges. Without it, life can feel aimless, even if you're busy.
That makes sense. And Drive broke down that purpose-driven motivation into 3 key elements, right? Motivation 3.0.
That's it. Autonomy, the desire to direct our own lives, having control. Mastery, the urge to get better and better at something that matters. Competence. And purpose, the yearning to do what we do in the service of something larger than ourselves, meaning...
Autonomy, mastery, purpose. Those feel like pretty fundamental human needs.
They really are. And living in line with them, with our values, taps into another powerful drive. Consistency. Influence talked about this.
We like our beliefs, words, and actions to match up. It feels strong.
Yes, it fosters personal and intellectual strength. Inconsistency feels uncomfortable, dissonant. We generally see it as an undesirable personality trait.
That POW example in Influence was quite stark, though. How even small acts of collaboration made them start shifting their self-image to match the action, just to reduce that inconsistency.
It's a chilling illustration of how powerful that drive is. We can rationalize almost anything to maintain internal consistency. Our actions don't just reflect our values, they can actively shape them over time if we're not careful.
Wow. So having a clear worldview, or a good theory as Maps of Meaning put it, helps guide those values and actions, helps make sense of things.
Exactly. It helps you see how your life fits into a larger narrative, gives meaning to your experiences, and provides a framework for making value-consistent choices.
But living that way takes responsibility,
Yeah.
accepting the trials and tribulations of being uniquely you.
Yes, Maps of Meaning puts it beautifully. It requires courage in the absence of certainty and discipline in the smallest matters. It's about committing to your chosen path, guided by your internal compass, even when it's tough or unclear.
Which feels like it requires a good dose of self-compassion. And that brings us perfectly to the last one.
Indeed. Truth 5. Compassion is your superpower. This really threads through everything we've talked about this season, how we treat ourselves, how we connect with others.
It starts with that idea of a secure base, from attachment theory, right?
Yeah.
From attached.
Yes, knowing you have someone reliable backing you up, someone you can count on with 100% certainty. Like for a child exploring, that security allows adults to take risks, be creative, and pursue our dreams.
And when that's missing, like in those anxious avoidant traps, it causes real pain and dissatisfaction. We need that connection.
We absolutely do, and that sense of security allows us to extend empathy outwards. Remember, the patient in the body keeps the score who developed compassion for her father once she understood his WWII trauma.
That was so powerful, moving from terror to compassion, just through understanding his context, his suffering.
It shows that empathy isn't just feeling for someone, but trying to understand why they are the way they are. And the book warns that our own pain can make us defensive, make us interpret other people's actions as being directed against us.
We get less understanding because we're busy protecting ourselves.
Exactly. If we cannot appreciate the complexity of their lives, we just see potential threats. Compassion requires stepping outside our own defenses to see the other person's humanity.
And sometimes, compassion is just listening, validating, not trying to fix, like Kathy telling her therapist.
Oh, that quote was perfect, saying that trying to talk her into being more reasonable just made her feel even more lonely and isolated. It confirmed her feeling that nobody could understand.
Yeah. Sometimes people just need to be heard, not corrected. Just
Yeah.
acknowledged.
Exactly. Validation is compassion in action. And that extends inwards too, self-compassion,
Yeah.
especially towards those difficult internal parts.
Like with IFS therapy, mentioned in The Body Keeps the Score, focusing on self-compassion helped people manage chronic pain and depression.
Yes, by learning to care for their needs without making herself sick. It's about accepting and caring for all parts of yourself, not fighting them. Integration, not suppression.
And compassion builds bridges outwards too. Atomic Habits noted how joining a group where your desired behavior is normal makes change easier.
Because we have that deep need to fit in and belong to the tribe, finding a compassionate, supportive group, a secure base, really is incredibly powerful for growth.
Like the theater example for trauma survivors in The Body Keeps the Score, connecting through shared humanity.
Yes, collectively facing difficult truths, embodying emotions safely, it lets them connect with one another by deeply experiencing their common humanity. It breaks the isolation.
Ultimately, compassion seems like the antidote to judgment, both of self and others. The denial of death hinted at this, avoiding making one person the godlike judge of another.
Exactly. It's about recognizing our shared, messy, complex humanity, seeing ourselves in others and others in ourselves, extending grace that feels like, well, a superpower.
It really does.
Okay.
Okay. So those are the core 5. Self-awareness, brain healing, discomfort for growth, values as compass, and compassion as superpower. Wow. That's a lot to take in.
It is, but powerful stuff. And now, for everyone listening, it's over to you.
Yeah. Just take a moment. Pause. Maybe even literally pause the playback. Reflect on those 5 truths.
Which one landed most strongly for you today, right now? Which feels most alive or most needed in your life this week?
Is it needing more self-awareness about a pattern? Holding on to hope for brain change? Leaning into discomfort instead of away? Clarifying your values? Or practicing more compassion?
Just pick one, the one that resonates most, and then think of just one small thing you can do this week. Tiny step.
Like if it's self-awareness, maybe journal for 5 minutes about a feeling you noticed. Or just name an internal part when it shows up.
If it's brain healing, maybe try that new language app for 10 minutes, or reframe one small setback as a learning opportunity, consciously thinking, my brain is growing.
If discomfort, maybe make that slightly awkward phone call you've been avoiding. Or just notice when you shrink from a challenge and gently nudge yourself forward.
Values. Maybe take 2 minutes in the morning to ask, what value do I want to embody today? And pick one small action. Compassion. Try one moment of self-kindness when the inner critic pipes up, or really listen to someone without planning your response.
Just one small thing. Remember, atomic habits, small actions, consistently applied, compound over time. This isn't about a massive overhaul overnight.
Exactly. It's about integrating these truths into the fabric of your life, bit by bit. The real deep dive continues within you.
And on that note, we just want to say thank you. Seriously, thank you for joining us in this whole first season.
Your curiosity, your willingness to dive deep with us into some complex stuff, it's been incredible. We really appreciate you letting us be part of your week.
Absolutely. And remember, this isn't really an ending. It's just a pause. The journey of living a more informed, recovered, flourishing life that's ongoing. Learning never really stops.
Definitely not. And we're already getting excited about season 2. We're thinking about exploring things like the hidden forces behind our decisions, the incredible power of the stories we tell ourselves, how our past shapes our present in ways we don't even realize.
Okay, sounds fascinating. Lots more deep dives to come.
For sure. But for now, keep reflecting, keep exploring.
Until next season, keep diving deep.